Well, after a week of not being in the garden, the first job is watering. If you don't get rain or enough rain, be sure to get your containers and your garden watered. I like to water in the morning. I like to really soak the stuff in. If you're not sure, especially with containers, if they need water, just stick your finger down in the dirt. If it's dry 3 inches down, they need water. For containers, we need to do some fertilizing. Now, when I'm done watering, we've got a lot of fun jobs to do here in the garden. One of my first stops when I returned was go to the nursery looking for bargains. I've got a great project, an easy project for us. It's just a little container herb garden, and they're giving these herbs away just about a buck a piece. And I chose herbs that will grow outside now, but then I'll be able to take them inside in the winter and have a nice little herb garden right on the windowsill. And we're starting with the thriller in the middle, and then filler, and then we kind of have a spiller. And this is stevia, which is just a natural sweetener. This thing is tough as nails. This is going to be our thriller in the middle. And I love rosemary. And this is going to be our filler around the outside. And look at those roots. I'm going to break those up a little bit. Don't be gentle. These guys need tough love. And hopefully it will last all the way until spring. We'll bring this back out in the spring. And for what, $7, $8, we've got ourselves a beautiful herb garden. Whenever you're planting, the mix I use is pit moss plentiful. Make sure that mix is moist first before you put the plants in. It doesn't accept water when it's all dry like that, but that's a pretty good looking herb garden. It's going to last for a long time. We'll put it right outside the kitchen for a while, and we can just jump out there and get our rosemary. I wish you could smell that. It smells like heaven. I got some more discount plants that we're going to help out a few containers here that need a little freshening up. That's next. I like that. Well, here are more discount plants. Yes, they've seen better days, but for a buck a piece, we've got containers that need some help. We lost our impatiens to impatient downy mildew, and those were in a lot of our containers, but this will freshen them up, make them look good, and this will go all the way until a hard frost. So our thriller's already here. These elephant ears I actually got last year at the end of the season, again for a buck a piece. Grew them inside as house plants, and now they're all over the garden, used as a thriller in the middle of this container. And I'll just put a little bit of this euphorbia in here as the filler. And as I said, you know, I've got some out in the garden that have been there all summer that look better than these, but these will come along in the next week or two. It's always nice to keep planting, I think. And then I've found some of this cool sweet potato vine for our spiller. And that's a good spot for one. Put one in here. And then one more. Stick them right here. All right, I got a few more left. One thing I did find too was some ivy, and I've been adding ivy to all my containers as a perennial spiller, so I'll find a spot for that. I've got lots of stuff to show you in the garden though. Follow me. We'll check out this yellow torch, Tithonia or Mexican sunflower. Just a reminder to do some deadheading. Take off the old blooms when they're done, and that'll keep this thing blooming. But I'm going to get to a point where I'm just going to leave them on, and I want to collect these seeds so I can give them away next year. I love this plant, great pollinator plant. Let's look at a couple other plants that maybe you should be growing, right? Yes. Okay. We'll check out a lilac blooming at the end of August. This is a lilac called bloomerang. Can bloom 3 times a year. You know, most lilacs are a one-trick pony. This guy is blooming where he's not really happy. Doesn't get enough sun, but look, we still have flowers. One more plant to take a look at. One of my favorite late blooming perennials are these hibiscus. Look at the size of that flower. And what's amazing about them is sometimes the bud is even more beautiful than the flower. And I'm going to show you a way that I love to display flowers in the summer. I'm going to snip this off. One of my favorite ways to show off my flowers, especially when I'm going to be working in the garden for a couple days, is just to drop them in water and float them. And every time I walk by, I can see that flower. Now, check me out online. That's where you can find lots of other garden stories, videos, blog posts, pictures. And you can become a member of my Seed of the Month Club. Would love for you to join, because in just a couple weeks, we're going to be having an exclusive symposium just for Seed Club members, and I'm cooking garlic sausage there. We're taking over a nursery. Check it out online. We will see you next week.